Are you hungry?
Give me something, something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Today we're baking bread, our homemade sourdough bread. It's easy to make. It tastes better than any bread you can buy in the supermarket, and better than most breads you buy at the bakers. So it's really worth it. Prepare it for the weekend breakfast, the weekend brunch. You will not regret it. But before we start, please click the subscribe button and also the little bell icon to stay updated when new content comes online. But yeah, there's not much more to say. Let's start baking. So as usual, when you're baking bread, we're going to start with the Autolyse process, which is basically creating gluten. It's mixing the flour with water and letting it stand for about 2 hours. Here we have 600 grams of flour to 500 grams of water. Now we mix this together. Make sure that you work all the flour into it. You don't have to work the dough a lot, but just make sure that there's no kind of flour left. Now we cover that with a wet cloth and leave it for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. Our Autolyse is done. Now we put in 120 grams of sourdough starter. Now we start this medium speed for 4 minutes. So it's been 4 minutes. Now we add the salt. I put the quantities below in the description. And now we increase it a bit for another 4 minutes. Well, that's it. We're done with the machine. And just so that we can get a feel of the dough, put some flour on your board. And then we'll get the dough out here. Now we'll work it a bit by hand. Flour your hands first. It's quite a wet dough because there's a lot of hydration, but it feels nice and springy. I will put it in a container. Now we'll let it rest there for about 2 hours, covered with a cloth. And every 45 minutes we'll do a stretch and fold or a lamination. I'll show you that. We're ready for the first stretch and fold. It's been 45 minutes. My hands are wet. Oh, by the way, do you see that bubble there? That's what you want to see. It means that the dough is alive. So we stretch and we fold it in all directions. And the last one. See how nice and elastic the dough is? And we cover it up. Leave it for another 45 minutes. So second round, and now we're not doing a stretch and fold, we're doing a lamination, but it's kind of similar. I forgot to wet my hands. Hands are wet. I want to loosen it. Grab it. And now we kind of want to fold it back on itself. So into the middle. And then one over the other. As simple as that. We cover it again. And we wait another 45 minutes for the last stretch and fold. So I'll last stretch and fold before we put it in the fridge overnight, because we're only making the bread tomorrow. It's nice elasticity in it. So there we are, ready for the fridge. 2 days later, and this is what the dough looks like. We've had it out for about an hour to let it get to room temperature. And now we're going to form it. Feels good. You just pull a bit every time and fold it under. I'm quite happy with that form. We'll put it on a baking paper now and let it rest for another half hour to 45 minutes. Here it is on the baking paper. We'll leave it for half an hour to rest, and then it goes in the Dutch oven in the oven. It's been half an hour. We'll move this to the side. And here we have our Dutch oven. It's been preheating at 250 degrees, you see it's smoking. And all we do now is we drop in our bread. Try to make it as comfortable as possible for the bread. Careful not to burn yourself. There we go. We pinched all our bubbles while it was resting, and now we take the knife and we make our cut. It goes back into the oven with the lid on. 30 minutes, that's 250 degrees Celsius. And then we take the lid off, and then another 15 minutes. And then we'll check out the result. So it's been in for half an hour. We take it out, we take off the lid, and now it goes back in for 15 minutes. Look at that beauty. Now all we have to do is to try to get it out of here. It's sometimes a bit difficult because of the... There we go. Now we need to cool it. Probably takes, I don't know, half an hour or so. And it's important to kind of raise it so that the base cool as well. It's a bit hot. I'll try to show you the base. There you have the base. You kind of put it on a griddle or something and raise that griddle so that air gets to it from all sides. And also a trick to get a nice crust is to spray it with some water. My assistant is spraying it. Perfect, and now we'll let it cool. It's been cooling for about an hour, and it's time to cut it and see what it looks like on the inside. So you'll be as surprised as I. There we go. Not bad. Now it's time to cut the slice and put some butter on it. Give it a taste. Now let's taste it, but first we need to make a slice. I'll half it again. Some Swedish Görgött. For me, there's almost nothing better than just fresh bread with salted butter on it. It's still a little bit warm. You see the butter melts a little bit. Well, you probably can't see that from over there, but you see that? Heaven. Let's give this a taste. perfect. Better than any bread you can buy in the store. There's some bakeries that do really good bread, but this beats most of it, and it's really easy. We need to plan it a bit, because obviously it takes a couple of days with the dough, but we do it every weekend, so we know that on Thursday we have to make the dough, depending on which day on the weekend we want it. Heaven on a piece of bread. Well, not heaven on a piece of bread, but heaven as a piece of bread. And you need salted butter on it. I would say it's enough for maybe 10 slices or so. 10 big slices that you can have and get this size, which is kind of perfect for a sandwich. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you stuck with me this long, please do me a favor, click the thumbs up, the like button. And if you haven't done so yet, the subscribe button. That's it for this time. Yeah, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.